Hello everyone, this is Sheriff the Broker. Right now we are in Şişli, Istanbul, in the building of Nurol Tower. Today we will be answering all the questions about Turkish citizenship and the deepest things that you cannot find in the Google. Our guest today, Miss Miray Celebi from Wickland Kurucuk Law Firm. Hello, Miray.
Hello. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's really nice to be here.
We will be sweating you today with the deepest questions. There will be questions about multiple wives. Is it possible to get Turkish citizenship? Is my son going to have military service? Will be asked. Also, let's start. So, in this chair, I will be today like an applicant. That I will be asking these questions. That I'm the applicant. Do I need to speak Turkish?
To get the Turkish citizenship by investment, you don't have to speak Turkish.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to know Turkish actually. This is not required.
My second question, do I need to live in Turkey?
From beginning to the end of this process, you don't need to be in Turkey at all. And also after you get the Turkish citizenship, you don't need to live in Turkey also.
Mm-hmm.
Like you will be the total Turkish citizen so that you can leave the country, you can come back, or you can live in another country. So since you will be having your passport and Turkish ID, it's totally fine to not live in Turkey.
Which country citizens can buy property, or I should ask, which cannot, because most of them can buy?
With the law numbered 6302, there had been some kind of change actually. So with these changes, there are 183 countries that can apply for Turkish citizenship by purchasing the property, but these countries are like kept secret,
Mm-hmm.
just because of the political issues, of course. So we are suggesting our clients, in this case, we are suggesting you that to find a lawyer and ask for them if they can able to buy or purchase the property in Turkey or not. Because you can get this information from the title deed offices, but it is better to go with this issue with a lawyer.
Which property is valid to apply for Turkish citizenship as a date, after and before?
Okay, so the regulation has been changed 2018 in September. So I need to check the times. The exact time is going to be 19 September of 2018. So before 19, let's take the 18th of September as a start date. So before 18, you have to purchase a property. It has to be like 1 million United States dollar. But after 19 September of 2018, with the regulation change, so you can purchase a property 250,000 United States dollar.
Can I buy more than one property to apply for Turkish citizenship?
Yes, you can. There is no limitation for this, so you can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter. But the most important thing, actually, all of the value of these properties must meet the 250,000 United States dollar.
Very good. These were our pre-process questions. Now we are coming to the in-process. In-process. We decided on the property right now.
Yeah.
How should I make the payments of the property?
Well, there are actually many options for that. So let's start with one. So we are actually given service of the open bank account. So most of the foreigners are choosing opening bank account in Turkey. With that bank account, they are transferring their money in their Turkish accounts. And then, when they want to buy the property, they are transferring money from their accounts to owners' accounts. So the most important thing in this situation that the money has been transferred from buyer's account to seller's account directly. Mm-hmm. That must be directly, because we are, you are putting a statement on the title deed, which is stating that you cannot sell this property for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And with that statement, we are doing an application for conformity certificate. So we are using the receipts of these payments to the to get the conformity certificate. So these receipts are the most important thing, like really the most important thing of this process. So that in these receipts, the explanation must include the title deed information, like exactly, like the how can I say, like every details actually, so that we are suggesting our clients to open bank account in Turkey on their names and transfer the money directly to owner's account by the explanation of the title deed information.
So, can you say that the money should be coming from buyer's account to the seller's account? Either it can come from the Turkish bank account or international bank account, doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
But the main thing, buyer will send the money, seller will get the money, we will show this receipt to the title deed office.
Totally. And I want to also add this one too. So most of the international banks are not giving receipts with the stamp and sign, because we need this receipt with stamp and sign on it. So this is kind of important. So we are suggesting you in this case, if you are going to use international bank, please be sure that if they are giving you the receipt with stamp and sign on it.
Good point. My second question, can I apply for citizenship by buying a property in installments?
Yes, actually, you can do that. For example, let's say you're going to buy a property in the amount of 500,000 United States dollars, and you are paying like in 10 installments with the like 50,000 United States dollars, let's say. So the main important thing is that the property shall be meet the amount of 250,000 United States dollars. So in your 5 installment, in the 5th installment, you will be meeting this amount, so that you don't need to wait for the other installments to be paid. So after the 15th installment, you will be totally able to start this procedure.
Is it possible to apply for citizenship through preliminary sales agreement?
Yes, you can, but there are some kind of conditions. The main, like 3 conditions that must have been done actually. So these agreement must be totally notarized by Turkish local notaries, and the whole amount of property, which is like 250,000 United States dollars, shall be paid, like paid before the purchasing.
Before the notarization.
Yes, totally.
After notarization, payments are not working.
Yeah, exactly. And following that, you need to state this agreement to the title deed office, and it must be written in the title deed. So with these 3 main conditions, if all of these conditions are done, so it's totally can be happen.
Okay. Is it possible to apply for citizenship by mortgage?
This is actually kind of the same answer with the installment question. So yes, it can be happen. For example, let's take an example: 500,000 United States dollar property, let's say. So the main idea of this process is that the property must be meet the amount of 250,000 United States dollars. So the mortgage shall not be on this part. So let's say if you want to buy a property with, let's say 600,000 United States dollar, so for the 350,000 United States dollar can be have the mortgage on it, but the other part that which is that we will be using in the citizenship process cannot be bought with the mortgage. But you can, also buy the property with mortgage in this case.
I have a question on this point. There's a citizenship, by citizenship law, there's a hold on the property that they cannot sell for 3 years for the $250,000 portion. But also there should be a hold on the property by the mortgage company, which is bank, will put a hold on the property if the installments will not paid. So these 2 things can work on the same property?
Yes, exactly. So it will be goes like that. So let's say 600,000 United States dollar is the amount of the property. So the bank puts a mortgage on this property, but just only for the 350,000 United States dollars. So the other part, the main part that we will be using for citizenship process application, and the other part has not mortgage on it. So that the 2 things can be happen in one title deed, and that's totally work.
Then my next question is about the documents. What are the necessary documents for the title deed process?
Well, of course, the passport translation will be totally needed. Like the passport, by the way, must be valid passport. And also...
and minimum valid period should be minimum 6 months.
6 months, yes, correct. And also, of course, biometric photos, the title deed asks totally. And if you want this process to be, done by the lawyers, then there must be also power of attorney with the picture of the main applicant. And the insurance, the mandatory earthquake insurance must be done by the seller, of course.
Which is so minor, small thing that's like
yes.
$10-20 per year.
It's really minor. Yeah, it can be done by online. By the way, most of in nowadays most of the properties has this insurance, but just in case, I'm just telling. And also, okay, for the foreigners, this regulation has been changed. Normally, that was not required, but the title deed asking for the evaluation report for the foreigners. So before the foreigners buy the property, it is necessary to get an evaluation report from the expert. These experts are appointed by government. So these are special experts, not the expert that you are finding in somewhere. So that with this evaluation report, the evaluation report, by the way, sending the title offices like online. This system has been changed, like in some time, let's say. So with the evaluation report, they are seeing the value of the property, actually, the main idea, actually. So this is kind of important. They're asking for which this expert report will be used when we want to get the conformity certificate, actually. And the main important thing is to get the potential tax ID number. So with the power of attorney that our clients, giving us, we are able to get the potential tax numbers.
Also, nowadays it's possible to get online.
Online, yeah, correctly, totally. You can do that in the tax office online website. They can be totally handled. And but sometimes we got some problems with the website, but like the online, so we have to do this like by personal, and sometimes it can be troubles to not have the power of attorney if we are doing this process. And this potential tax number is kind of a permanent ID number for our clients, and that will be used let's say at the end of the process, let's say.
Nowadays, also they started to ask birth certificate.
Birth certificate. Normally, it is not necessary actually, but for some nations, they are asking for it. For example, for citizenship applications, we are sending our clients a required documents list. In this list, you will see that the criminal record is asked, but nowadays they are not asking for this criminal record. But it's kind of a supportive document actually.
Yes, some countries there.
Some countries, yeah, it totally depends actually. We cannot pretend which countries is required for or not. So it totally depends on the country. It totally depends on the officer in the the immigration office or the title deed office.
So can we say that if when they are coming from their country, they're all of course bringing their passports with them, and this passport should be minimum valid time of 6 months, and it might be asked that they should prepare a birth certificate from the consulate or from their country. This is the needed documents they should bring with them, and from here they can take the photo. The tax number will be taken here. This earthquake insurance can be done online, and if they are already done their payments to the seller, they are ready to take the title deed on their name.
Yeah. Also, I want to add this one. Normally, the seller is doing this, but just for information, I just want to tell us, like, it's immovable market value certificate that is also needed, but that is totally done by the seller. So our clients are not going to be handled with
from municipality. They are getting this. My next question is about taxes. What are the taxes during the title deed process?
What are the taxes? Good question. So, normally the law says that you have to pay 2 different taxes to the title deed. So, one of these taxes is called title deed transfer tax, which is 4% over the property value. And the second thing is there is no English version of this tax, but we are calling this like a title deed tax actually. So
You are mentioning about döner sermaye?
Döner sermaye, yes. There is no, I don't know, there is no English version of this.
It is not the döner we are eating.
Yeah, it's not, of course it's not the reality, yeah.
Few days ago I read about this. Döner sermaye is the amount the government is collecting to make the offices newer and cleaner that the government offices they collect.
Oh yeah, it can be said like
Supporting
like, yeah, supporting, yeah, I don't know.
office fee.
Office fee, let's say, yeah, totally. So,
But it's small, not like, maybe it is like 0.1%.
yeah, actually it has been, mentioned by the government for 2020. It is, as I remember, it is 1,100 Turkish lira.
Yeah.
It's really small amount actually. But the main, of course, important tax is the title deed transfer. So it is 4% over the property value, but it can be paid in half between buyer and seller. So
In legally, it is buyer and seller 2 and 2.
2 and 2, yes, correctly. But the parties can negotiate this one. So 4% can be paid by seller or by buyer. So it can negotiate.
Next question is again about taxes, but this time, how are we responsible for the taxes after purchase the property?
Okay, how are we responsible? So, as a foreigner, they don't need to pay any tax actually. Just for the they are just obligated to pay the taxes for the property actually. But if they are not gaining any money in Turkey, they don't need to pay any taxes actually. For foreigners, for 5 years actually, they're not need to pay any taxes actually.
Only there is this municipality,
Yeah.
They call rubbish tax or trash tax?
We can say trash tax actually, yeah. Only that one, but this is really small amount, like not that much high actually.
We can say that it is less than 0.1% of the property value. Right now we are ready to go, and there are some questions about the post process. And after we got the property, conformity report is done, and the citizenship, they are waiting for the Turkish IDs and passports. They are asking our clients, am I going to pay tax for my worldwide income when I become Turkish citizen?
Okay, so Turkey has kind of an agreement between most of the countries, which is called like a double taxation agreement. So if a country is a part of this agreement, so if you are paying, for example, let's take China as an example. Let's say China is a part of this double taxation agreement, so that you are a Chinese person and you are paying your taxes in China, so you do not have to pay your taxes in Turkey, or you are paying for your taxes in Turkey, so you do not need to pay your taxes in China.
Very good. Next question. With one property, is it possible to obtain more Turkish citizenship except for the investor?
Yes, of course it is possible, and the main idea, as I mentioned, that the property must be meet the 250,000 United States dollar. Okay, so for example, it is for a family, like the main applicant, spouse, and under 18 children. So, for an example, you are buying a property, 500,000 United States dollar, and there are 250,000 United States dollar in this property. So that we are separate person. You can buy this property. You can be the shareholder of this property. And I can be also. So you can do your own application, and I can do my application. So if we are meeting the 250,000 United States dollar, then more than one applicants can be had with one title deed.
I'm coming to most interesting question. In case the investor does not have only a single wife, can the other wives get Turkish citizenship?
Well, the Turkey is not allowed to people to have a wife more than one. But most of the countries, such as Arabic countries,
Saudi Arabia,
yeah, exactly,
Qatar,
they are allowing more than one wife. So that in Turkey, with the Turkish citizenship application, it is possible. But for example, let's take you an example. You have 5 wives, and all of your wives can be applied for Turkish citizenship process by yours. Okay, but you have to choose one just for the for the Turkish registrations. So you can only seem, married with a one wife. And normally the government is accepting your last wife as a wife. So the other ones will get the Turkish citizenship, but they will not be, connection with you in Turkish registrations.
Next question is, this is also common, asked many times to me. Is there mandatory military service after citizenship? Does my son need to go to the military when he becomes 18?
Okay, for example, if a person is over 22 years old, they don't need to do their military service in Turkey. But for example, your son is under 18, so and also your son does not complete his military service in your country, so they have to complete that service in Turkey. But if they already did this one, so they don't need to do that. But over 22, not necessary, but under 18, if they did not complete their service in their countries, it is mandatory, let's say.
My last question is about online clients. They are buying remotely. By applying with power of attorney without coming to Turkey, can I get Turkish ID, passport from Turkish consulate?
Well, regarding the power of attorney, we will be authorizing the, let's say, to getting tax IDs, opening bank accounts, and purchasing property, applying for residence permit, and applying for Turkish citizenship process. So with all authorizations, we are able to do everything on behalf of the client from beginning till the end. So our client does not need to come to Turkey at all. So that at the end, we are connecting with the consulates in the countries, present countries of our clients. So we are we are contacting with the consulates. We are arranging this, sworn translator, and we are getting appointment for our clients. So they are able to apply for Turkish ID and passports in the Turkish consulate in their countries. So it is also possible, but the times can be changed. When will they receive? But yeah, it is possible.
This is all my questions. Do you have anything to add that I didn't ask?
Well, actually, you asked
so far most of.
Yeah, exactly. Most important questions. I just want to mention that the amount of the property is really important. So I am suggesting my client the currency is changing in Turkey so much, and so bad. So that's why I am suggesting my clients to buy a property over 250,000 United States, or for example 260,000 United States dollars, just because of the currency issues. And plus the explanation. If you want to transfer the money, if you are going to buy the property, it is really important to write the title information in the receipts. So please get help in the situation, because since we are doing this 2018, with the new regulation, we face many problems and we see so many things, and for our clients' favor, I suggest that to get help about these issues.
So thank you so much for today joining us on this video. It's Miray Celebi. Thank you, Nurol, that in this nice view behind we made this video. If you have any questions about Turkish citizenship that we didn't ask today, you can comment under this video and we can answer together with Ms. Celebi to these questions. Thank you so much for watching us today. See you on the next video. Sheriff the Broker.